The following, the following is a live special presentation. It's just never normal. Of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And so the playoffs continue from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 15th day of September 20 to 22. And the Dodgers are a team in trouble. They got two hit last night in Game 1 by John Tudor of this fine National League Championship Series. And so the Dodgers can only do a split at home. St. Louis has done the dirty work. They go home no worse than even up, and possibly up 2-0. The good news is the Dodgers have starting pitching to burn. All 5 of their starters who went 20 or more games in the replay have an ERA under 3. In fact, their team ERA is like 2.74. It's incredible. They will go with Orel Hershiser this afternoon as they try to even the series up. The Cardinals will go with Joaquin Andujar, not bad in his own right. The Cardinals will go with Danny Cox in Game 3 and Bob Forsch in Game 4. The Dodgers still kind of wait and see. They have a lot of different options there. All of them are good. But the Cardinals are in great shape. Again, a 5-0 win last night. A 2-hitter by John Tudor. They made 2 changes today with a righty Hershiser on the hill. Andy Van Slyke is in right field for Tito Landrum. And Darrell Porter goes behind the plate. 2 changes, or just 1 change for the Dodgers. Ken Landreau is in center field because he's a lefty hitter going against the righty Andujar. It is a warm night in Los Angeles. 80 degrees, winds blowing in from left center at 17. Actually, at the moment, like the Angels' chances, although they're down 2-0 to Toronto, more than I do the Dodgers, simply because the Angels just need to take 1 at some point against Toronto, provided that they win with Mike Witt tomorrow. And so that's the setup for you. We should be in for a dandy. Hopefully the Dodgers trying to even up this best-of-7 National League Championship Series. As Retro Sports Network presents the 1985 National League Championship Series. Tonight, Game 2, live from Dodger Stadium, as the NL East champion St. Louis Cardinals have a 1-game lead over the NL West champion Los Angeles Dodgers. And tonight's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. How you doing, Sidewind? And so, Orel Hershiser is here to stop the bleeding for the Dodgers. That's the hope. 34 starts. He threw a no-hitter and he threw a one-hitter in the replay, going 22-8 with an earned run average of 2.5. Against the Cardinals, 3 starts, 20 in the third innings, 22 hits, 13 runs, 12 earned. He walked 8, struck out 16, but nobody had more success against the Bulldog in 85 than the Cardinals. He is 0-3 against them this year with an earned run average of 531. So which Hershiser are we going to get? The one that had the one-hitter against the Astros and no-hit the Giants, or the one that struggled against St. Louis? His last start was on the 2nd, so he is on full rest. An 8-7 loss to Atlanta where he had no decision. Overall, 266 innings, 189 hits, 88 runs, 74 of those earned, 11 homers allowed. He walked 76 and struck out 181. Hershiser, right in the prime of his career, 27 years old, a ground ball plus pitcher, and that fastball tops out at 88. This will be the lineup that he'll face. Going to look pretty familiar. Vince Coleman leads off in left field for the Cardinals. Willie McGee, who won the batting title by 50 points, is in center. He'll bat second. Remember, it was his big home run last night that really put the game out of reach. Tommy Herr at second will bat third. Jack Clark at first cleans up. One of the three defensive changes for St. Louis, Andy Van Slyke in right field, will bat fifth. Terry Pendleton will slide down to sixth for this one. He'll play third. How you doing, Matt? Ozzie Smith at short will bat seventh. Darrell Porter will bat eighth. And I forgot to change Tudor to Andujar for that slide. Oopsie. And Joaquin Andujar gets to start and will bat ninth. Always catch the error too late. Defensively for the Dodgers, Pedro Guerrero a 4 and a 5 in left. Kenny Landreau a 4 and a 2 in center. Mike Marshall, how you doing, Dave C., is a 3 and an 8 in right. Madlock playing in for the bunt is a 4 at third. Duncan a 5 at short. Steve Sachs a 5 at second. Greg Brock a 6 at first. Mike Scioscia, who, by the way, finished second in the National League in hitting, is behind the plate. He's a 7 and a 6, and Hershiser is 7 on the mound with a .903 fielding percentage. Coleman went 0 for 5 in Game 1 with a strikeout. Again, an apprehensive crowd. This really is a must-win game for the Dodgers in Game 2. And it starts with a drag bunt to first, and Brock got him. Lined it right down and hit the bag. And Brock beat him there. One out for McGee, who went 1 for 4 in Game 1 with a homer and 2 RBI. Hershiser winds and deals. Chopper to third. Madlock across the way for the out, and that's 2 quick outs for Hershiser. Tommy Herr 1 for 4 in Game 1. Fernando and company struck him out twice. He singled and scored. Pitch from Hershiser. Ball 4. And again, the St. Louis team has speed to burn. Here's Jack Clark. Jack went 2 for 4 in Game 1. Singled, doubled, scored, and struck out. Throw to first, and Herr is back. You know St. Louis is going to run. And if you were with us last night, their threat to run so rattled Ken Howell coming out of the pen. He balked twice in the 7th inning. Herr stays put, foul back behind the plate, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. So Hershiser, although he's thrown 19 pitches so far in the first, can technically go the route. Struck him out. He got Clark looking, and that will retire the side. Cardinals don't get a hit. They leave a runner on. Half an inning in the books, no score. And so Joaquin Andujar, who went 18 and 15 on the replay, so the record wasn't as good, but his ERA was better, as 3.17 against the Dodgers. 3 starts, 22 and a third innings, 23 hits, 8 runs all earned. He walked 8, struck out 12. He went 1 and 1 with an earned run average of 3.22. His last start came against the Cubs on the 6th, so he's on full rest. He took the loss that day. 289 and 2/3 innings for Mr. Andujar, 274 hits, 122 runs, 102 of those earned, 18 home runs, 92 walks, and 122 strikeouts. So he's going to put the ball in play a lot. Now here's how the Dodgers will line up. Mariano Duncan leads off at short. Kenny Landreau, doesn't he look like a young D. Scott Howard? Will bat second and play center field. Mike Marshall in right will bat third. Again, Pedro Guerrero in left will clean up, and he's the one that's going to have to move this Dodger machine. Bill Madlock at third will bat fifth, and Bill finally showed up in a Dodger uniform. Greg Brock will bat sixth and play first. Steve Sachs at second will bat seventh. Mike Scioscia, again, second in the National League in hitting, going eighth. And on the mound is one Bulldog, Oral Hershiser. Who threw 20 pitches in his half of the first. Vince Coleman, as we set the Cardinal defense for you. A 5 and an 8 in left. Willie McGee is an 8 and a 7 in center. Andy Van Slyke getting the start with the righty on the hill is a 4 and a 9 in right. Terry Pendleton a 9 at third. Ozzie Smith a 9 at short. Tommy Herr a 5 at second. Jack Clark a 6 at first. Darrell Porter a 5 and a 4 behind the plate. And Dandahar, not the world's best fielder, a 7 range with an .898 fielding percentage. Tomorrow we'll be with you at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, for Game 3 of the Angels and Blue Jays. And since we got to do another appreciation stream over the weekend, the playoffs will resume with a doubleheader on Tuesday from St. Louis and California. You think Mr. Howard's recreational activities are keeping him young? I think so. At least the mind is sharp. So we'll do something for Roger Federer Sunday. Barely made it through the traffic. So Duncan 1 for 4 in Game 1 with 2 strikeouts. Andahar starts Game 2. Ground ball over the mound. Ozzie on the grass. Over to first. 1 out. So that'll bring up Landreau. Kenny on the real season. 268, 12 homers, and 50 RBI. And again, we think that's D. Scott Howard, not Kenny Landreau. Just saying. Andahar winds and deals. Into right center. McGee moving over. Will make the catch. 2 out. So here's Mike Marshall. 0 for 3 in Game 1. Struck out twice and grounded into a double play. And so the question for the Dodgers in this one is it, I mean, you just kind of had to tip your hat to John Tudor. What adjustments do you make? You weren't going to hit Tudor if you were putting out Ruth, Gehrig, and Clemente yesterday. So you got to see what you got now. Your ears are burning. Careful where you put the lighter. Pitch to Marshall, and Marshall walks. So a 2-out walk. Andahar slams the ball back in his glove on the 3-1 fastball that was high for Pedro Guerrero, who is 0 for 3 in Game 1 and grounded into a double play. Just looking at the outcome box as these batters come up, it does not seem like an impossible task for the Dodgers. Line drive to Ozzie, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, an error. After 1, no score. Well, hopefully a better game. Although if you're a Cardinal fan, you were loving last night. A 2-hitter by John Tudor. The Cardinals won Game 1 5-0. Toronto beat California 7-4. That series will resume tomorrow night at 7. Right here on Retro Sports Network. Andy Van Slyke, he pinch hit last night. 259, 13 homers, 55 RBI. But no, we've not had a barn burner yet in this postseason. Up the middle, Sachs by the bag at second, over to first, 1 out. No, it got away. It got away. Sachs turned into New York Yankees, Steve Sachs, and threw the ball away. And so Van Slyke moves up to second on the E4. This is how the Dodgers got in trouble yesterday. Terry Pendleton 1 for 3 in Game 1. A run scored, a stolen base, and a walk. There goes Van Slyke to throw down a Madlock, and Andy is caught stealing. So the Cardinals make a base-running blunder. I'm controlling the Dodgers. That looked to be a straight steal. And Van Slyke got crossed up. I can't imagine they would have sent him there. Anyway, it's a 1-ball count and 1 out. And Mr. Howard is singing a novena after that. So Scioscia throws him out. Pendleton to Sachs. This time Steve gloves it, throws to first, and that is an out. So 2 out for Ozzie Smith, who had a great Game 1. Some good plays in the field. An error, by the way. Of course he did. 3 for 4, 3 singles, and drove in 2. 2 out here in the second. He drops one down, and Smith stepped on the ball, so he's out. Ozzie knew it. He wasn't going to argue it. The ball was kind of rolling fair, and Scioscia picked it up, or was going to pick it up, but Ozzie just kind of kicked it to him. So the Cardinals make a couple blunders, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. After an inning and a half, no score. Yep, the rare play Steve Sachs found first. So Bill Madlock, nice picture, by the way. 1 for 3 in Game 1 with a single. To third, Pendleton across the way, 1 out. For Brock, who has to be relieved that he's not facing the lefty Tudor. He went 0 for 2 with a strikeout before being pinch hit for late in the ballgame. It is a windy day here in the City of the Angels, blowing in from left center at 17. Ground ball to Clark, Jack to the bag himself for the out. It's listed as a night game, which means attempts go down instead of up. But NBC, probably on a Friday night, wouldn't want to interrupt Miami Vice or anything like that for a playoff game. So we'll have this as the after-school Friday special. Steve Sachs is 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 out, bottom of the second. Andujar winds and deals. And there's a ground ball base hit. So the Dodgers get the first hit of the ballgame. And it certainly came a lot sooner than what they did last night. I don't believe they got a hit until the 6th or 7th. So here's Scioscia. Hit 296 on the real year. His 316 average in the replay is second only behind Willie McGee. You will not steal Sachs immediately. Andujar throws to first, and Sachs is back. So they're going to send him. 2 out, no score. Bottom of the second. There goes Steve, the throw down to the Wizard, and Sachs steals the bag. And so it's the Dodgers who are trying to kill with speed. Sachs, a very good runner, now will score on a base hit. So a 1-ball count to Mike Scioscia, who lines this one down the line and right. That's extra bases, and the Dodgers get their first lead of the series. Clark, who has been hobbled for a while, could not get the dive down in time, and Scioscia, and a rare announcer's praise, didn't jinx me. He hits the double, and the Dodgers go up 1-0. And finally, this large crowd at Dodger Stadium is something to cheer about. Here's Hershiser, 197 on the replay and 4 RBI. Tommy Lasorda was so upset last night that the post-game spread was sushi. Pitch to Hershiser. Popped up shallow left center. McGee rides the Schwinn. Makes the catch for the out, and that will retire the side. The Dodgers finally score. 2 hits and no errors. After 2, 1-0 LA. So Porter, Andujar, and Coleman to face Hershiser here in the third. Porter, 221, 10 homers, and 36 RBI. Normally the post-game spread has some lasagna or some pasta dishes, but no. Sushi. That was it. Fernando ate it anyway. Pitch to Porter. Struck him out. Hershiser got him to chase a full count fastball. So that'll bring up Andujar. 106 on the real season with 8 RBI. Ground ball, base hit. So the pitcher reaches on a single. And that's the first hit for the Cardinals. So Hershiser's opening 9, 35 pitches, 2 in the third innings, a hit, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Coleman's 0 for 1, and not a good bunter. So 1 out, tying run on base. Hershiser delivers. Line drive to Sachs, and Andujar has to scamper back. So 2 out for McGee. Willie is 0 for 1. There's a nervousness that settled in here. And he walks McGee. That's not going to help Hershiser's confidence. That's the second walk. Here's her. Tommy walked the first time. So Andujar, who was fast for a pitcher, and McGee, who has afterburner speed. Pitch to her. Tommy swings. Little chopper to second. Sachs quick throws it to Brock, and that'll do it. The Cardinals don't score. They get a hit. There's no errors. And they leave on 2. Deep breath time if you're a Dodger fan. They lead 1-0. So top of the lineup for the Dodgers as we start the third. Duncan is 0 for 1. Andujar opening 9, 30 pitches, 2 innings, 2 hits. The run is earned and a walk. That's going to fall in front of Van Slyke. And Duncan has himself a hit. So here's Landro. Kenny 0 for 1. They go to the plate. Landro chops this one down to first. Clark goes to Ozzie for 1. They throw back to first, and they turn it. I sure as thought that Andujar was going to throw over to first. But he didn't. And the Dodgers didn't get the chance to even try to send Duncan. So 2 out on the double play. See if that how large that looms later on. Here's Marshall. He walked his first time up. And he walked him. For Guerrero, who's 0 for 1. Full count fastball, missed high and outside. So 2 out, runner on, 1-0 Dodgers, bottom of the third. Andujar hits Guerrero. That got him on the shoulder on a 1-strike count. And I don't know who's more upset, Guerrero or Andujar. Joaquin is not known for being a cool cucumber on the mound. And now I'll bring up Madlock, who's 0 for 1. 1 for 4 on the series. Marshall on second, Guerrero on first. Pitch to Madlock. There's a high fly ball to left, but that should stay in the yard. Coleman retreats, makes the catch, and boy, does that caught stealing double play loom large. After 3, no runs, a hit, and no errors. It's the Dodgers 1, the Cardinals nothing. So Clark, Van Slyke, and Pendleton to face Hershiser here in the 4th. And just like the first 3 innings last night, it really is a pitcher's duel so far. Clark struck out his first time up. He'll do it again. A 2-2 changeup. Took something off it, and Clark chased. So 1 out for Van Slyke, who's 0 for 1. Struck him out. He swung on and missed the fastball. So that's 4 for Hershiser. And now they'll bring up Pendleton, who's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Liner right field in front of Marshall, and that will be a single. So the second hit for the Cardinals brings up Ozzie Smith, who's 0 for 1. Left field, Guerrero in the corner, and Pedro will make the catch to retire the side. So Hershiser, no runs, only is allowed 2 hits through 4, no errors. Bottom of the 4th here, 1-0 Dodgers. We showed you the standings last night. I can tell you that tomorrow night at 7 we'll play Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. The Toronto Blue Jays lead 2-0 as we head out west to California. And both teams had a restful night's sleep in California, and they're home in their own beds in Toronto at the Mickey Mouse Hotel. Brock is 0 for 1. Oh, you couldn't comment last night, John. We saw you once, yeah. All Twitch cares about is that you see the ad I showed in the middle of the game. Pitch to Brock. Line drive to Clark, 1 out. So here's Sachs. Singled, stole second, and scored the lone run for the Dodgers today. Pitch from Andahar. Ground ball to third. That's a hard hopper. Pendleton one-arms it over to Clark, 2 away. So here's Sosha. Mike doubled and drove home a run. To short, the Wizard, and that will retire the side. Dodgers go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 4, 1-0 LA. So this one has been the nail-biter we thought it would be. Danny Cox will get the ball Tuesday for Game 3. Mr. Howard, I'll let you to tell me what part of that doubleheader do you want. You want the noon game or do you want the 8 game? Borders 0 for 1 with a strikeout as Hershiser starts the 5th. Right field, a rainmaker, 1 out. Marshall had to come in. So Andahar singled, one of the 2 hits for St. Louis in the ballgame. Got him. A 1-2 fastball outside the zone, swung on and missed. 2 out. Tuesday, the playout will do the California-Toronto game tomorrow, and then we will resume the LCSs on Tuesday. So opening 18 for Hershiser, 76 pitches, 4 2/3, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Vince Coleman is 0 for 2. With Andahar in the lineup, by the way, the Cardinals have 6 switch hitters. 6. Pitch to Coleman. Struck him out. So halfway home in Game 2, Hershiser throwing a gem. On this Thursday, it's 1-0 Dodgers. So the NBC folks are aghast that the Dodgers will be the daytime game on Thursday or Tuesday, and the Angels and Blue Jays in prime time for Game 4. If you join us late, not a lot of offense in this one. Mike Scioscia doubled home Steve Saxon the second, and that's it. It's 1-0 LA. So Andujar, a 3-hitter through 4, and Hershiser, a 2-hitter through 5. And as you would expect with the top two pitching squads in the National League, this one has been a pitcher's duel. Hershiser 0 for 1. Andujar starts the 5th, popped up. Porter doffs the mask and will make the catch for the out, 1 away. So opening 18 for Andujar, 60 pitches, 4 1/3, 3 hits, 2 walks, 1 run. Duncan is 1 for 2. He singled and then was doubled off. Strike 3 gets away from Porter. The throw down to first for the out. So the first strikeout from Andujar. Landro is 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play. We think the Manicotti will be back in the Dodgers postgame spread. Base hit, extra bases down the line. Coleman goes to fish it out. Landro with a full head of steam rounds first. He's going to go into second standing. And the Dodgers have a runner in scoring position with 2 out. So here's Marshall, who was walked twice. Cardinals bullpen, by the way, fully rested. So they can use anybody and everybody, except Kirk Kepshire, who we kept in St. Louis. Pitch to Marshall. Struck him out. So Andujar got him. Strike 3 called. Dodgers get a hit, lead 1. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 5, 1-0 Dodgers. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors for St. Louis. They've left on 4. As Willie McGee digs in, he's 0 for 1 with a walk. Dodgers a run on 4 hits and an error, and they've left on 5. Got him. That's 7 for Hershiser. A curveball that McGee chased. Orel has the Cardinals going on a yo-yo today. Here's her. Tommy has walked and is 0 for 1. Hershiser winds and deals. Line drive to first. Brock is there. 2 out for Jack Clark, who has struck out twice. Hershiser, that wind now blowing in from dead center at 17, doesn't seem to be breaking the sweat. Left field, Guerrero runs in and makes the catch. So Hershiser through 6. No runs, no hits, no errors. He's held the Cardinals to 2 hits. It's 1-0 Dodgers. So a fast one today. Here's Guerrero. Petey is 0 for 1. Madlock and Brock to follow. Guerrero was hit by a pitch. This time he laces one past her. McGee makes the catch on that frozen rope. 1 out. So here's Madlock. He is 0 for 2. The Dodgers could use an insurance run. Andujar's pitch. Ball 4. So Madlock reaches with a 1-out walk for Greg Brock, who is 0 for 2. Throw to first. Bill not going anywhere. And as Brad said last night, for the Cardinals, you can't steal first base. So the Dodgers will be... See, you get the Southern California double. We can make it convincing that the Angels and Blue Jays are playing a real game. You mean this is fiction? I had no idea. Pitch to Brock. And that's going to drop in over Clark in front of Van Slyke. Madlock will pick it. Madlock will go to third. Van Slyke picks it up. And so the Dodgers have runners on the corners, one out for Sachs. Steve is 1 for 2. He has singled, scored, and stole a base. See if I can make this convincing. And today at your Southern California Hyundai dealers, find out what's in store for 2023. So go to Cal Worthington Hyundai, right off of the 5 at Anaheim. He's the one riding the elephant. Did I do a good job convincing you that was real? Pitched, Porter and Andujar have a word. Pitch to Sachs. There's a ground ball to Ozzie. He will try for 2. Madlock's going to try and score. Her for 1. Clark for 2. And so the Dodgers will not score. We have played 6. It's still 1-0 LA. Don't forget it's Doug Spot, who's riding the donkey. Go see Cal. Go see Cal. Now, as a kid living in New Mexico, it'll be Van Slyke, Pendleton, and Smith here in the 7th. Andy's 0 for 2 with the strikeout. We got the 2 almost super stations out of L.A. on cable, 5 and 11. So, KTLA with the Angels and KTTV with the Dodgers. And so here I am at 8 years old, watching this idiot sell his cars with these weird animals. But lo and behold, 43 years later, I remember him. Pitch to Van Slyke. Ball 4. So the Cardinals put the tying run on. The 3-0 curve just didn't quite reach the plate, hit the plate. Here's Pendleton Terry, 1 for 2. Van Slyke, one of the rare Cardinals that's not a threat to steal. Pendleton bunts, and they get the out at second. What a play by Socha. He throws it to Van Slyke, who can run. He's not a good base stealer, but he can run, and there's no throw to first. So the Dodgers get the lead runner. Here's Ozzie Smith. He's 0 for 2. Base hit, left field. Guerrero picks it up. Pendleton cautiously round second, goes back to the bag. And now to bring up Porter, who's 0 for 2. Andujar on deck, and you wonder, pitch count-wise, Joaquin is fine, whether they'd leave him in. So Pendleton on second, Ozzie Smith on first, 1 out for Porter. Socha and Hershiser go through the signs. From the stretch. Walked him, and they're loaded. And so no indication what Whitey's going to do with Andujar. Joaquin has singled and struck out. He's 1 for 2. But Pendleton on third. Ozzie Smith on second. Daryl Porter on first. We'll take 5 seconds on the Vans California, or Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim audio network. Again, let me know how real that sounds to you, John. So Socha and Hershiser work it again. Andujar waves it back and forth. He's going to get a base hit. This game is tied. Pendleton will score. Marshall looks Smith back to third. Marshall has a very good arm. And it's just the 1. Oh, Cal was selling cars in Houston by the mid to late 80s, so you got all the commercials. Now, I can't imagine that a child or a grandchild took that over, right? So here's Hershiser, 27 batters deep now in a tie ball game. 114 pitches, 6 1/3, 4 hits, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Coleman is 0 for 3. And a franchise in Seattle, I'm hearing, too. Well, when you're a multimillionaire, I guess you can rent out the zoo. So 1 out. That might be 2. Sacks. Only play is to first. They get Coleman, but St. Louis goes ahead 2-1. That was one of those choppers over the mound that Sacks prevented being a bigger hit. Here's McGee. He's 0 for 2. He's walked and struck out. But the Cardinals have pulled ahead 2-1. They're going to walk McGee. They'd rather face her. Tommy is 0 for 2 with a walk. McGee, of course, the National League batting champion. Sacks wanted to throw home. Knew he didn't have a play. Actually, you know what? An All-California series would probably do great for the channel. Actually, regardless of the 4, St. Louis doesn't have as many fans as the Dodgers. But a lot of people who are Blue Jay fans have watched all year. So they're loaded. Hershiser to face her. Tommy lines it to Sacks, who makes the play. It worked. Stretch time 2-1. Yeah, I think most of my viewers would take an All-California series. So, the Cardinals go up by a run. The Dodgers now need something. They don't want to be flying to St. Louis. Down 2-0. Socha, 1 for 2, an RBI and a double. A pinch hitter, that'll do it for Hershiser. He went 7, only allowed the 4 hits, but is on the wrong side of a 2-1 score. Andujar starts the inning. Ground ball, base hit right side. The Dodgers trying to punch back right away. So who can hit a righty? Enos Cabell, who showed up for picture day. Enos 0 for 1 on the series. Pinch hit last night. Andujar at 95 pitches, as there's nobody out here in the 7th. Ground ball might be 2. Ozzie to her for 1, to Clark for 2. And now I'll bring up Duncan, who's 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Andujar, 101 pitches for his first 27 batters. 6 2/3, 6 hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Pitch from Duncan to Duncan. Ground ball to Clark, and Jack can't play it. In fact, it got behind Clark, and Duncan goes for 2. Off his glove behind the bag, and Clark couldn't see it. And Duncan, with good speed, didn't stop. So that's the second error of the series for the Cardinals. Here's Landreau, who was 1 for 3 with a double. And the topsy-turvy world of playoff baseball takes on another curve. Andahar is incensed he was out of the inning. And now the tying run is in scoring position. The pitch to Landreau is into right center. McGee has that one squared away. The wind held that in, and after 7, it's 2-1 St. Louis. So Tom Niedenfuer, who did not pitch last night, gets the call tonight to try to hold us to a one-run game. He is 26 years old, fastball at 93, and a fly ball pitcher. Against the Cardinals in the regular season, 4 appearances, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts, and 2 saves. So the Dodgers have who they want, and of course with a day off tomorrow, he technically would have a day rest. You could use Niedenfuer the next 3 days if he needed to. Hasn't pitched since the 6th, inning in 2/3 in a 5-2 win over the Reds. So in his regular season, 70 1/3 innings, 50 hits, 11 runs, 9 earned, 2 homers, 16 walks, and 59 strikeouts. 3-2 with 30 saves, and an earned run average of 115. So Clark, Van Slyke, and Pendleton. According to Wikipedia, Cal's grandson Nick runs the business now and appears in commercials. They only operate in Long Beach. Okay. And now you know. So, and Cesar Cedeno's going to pinch hit. So Cedeno, 434, 6-19 for the Cardinals since coming over from the Reds. As a pinch hitter, 2 for 3 with a homer and 2 RBI. Niedenfuer needs to keep this a one-run game. Marshall, Guerrero, and Madlock are due up in the bottom of the 8th for the Dodgers. Niedenfuer's pitch, ball 4. So Cedeno draws the leadoff walk on a 7-pitch walk. The full count changeup missed downstairs. And that'll bring up Van Slyke, who's 0 for 2, who has walked and struck out. Throw to first, Cedeno is back. Cardinals can manufacture an insurance run here. That would be huge. Cedeno stays. Van Slyke walks. Socha didn't like the call, but he kept his mouth shut. He didn't say the magic words. Really didn't matter because Niedenfuer missed high and inside anyway. So he's faced 2 batters and walked them both. Here's Pendleton, 1 for 3, a single and a run scored. Terry hits a ground ball to Sachs. Duncan for 1 to throw to first. Brock is there. They turn 2. So they get the hard part, a 4-6-3 double play. But Cedeno's on third for Ozzie Smith, who was 1 for 3. He has singled and scored. So Niedenfuer almost out of the jam he created. Pitch to Ozzie. Ground ball to Duncan. Mariano across the way. And the Dodgers do get out of it. Mike Jorgensen's going to play first base. Advantage Dodgers. Although Jorgensen's a 7 out there. At first. And I'm going to think that Jorgensen is cleaning up. Andahar is still on the mound. He's thrown 110 pitches. It'll be Marshall, Guerrero, and Madlock. And Mike is walked twice and struck out. He's 0 for 1. But it's still a one-run game here in the bottom of the 8th. Line drive to her. Leaps and makes the catch, 1 out. Yeah, and now they put Jorgensen in at first. So Guerrero is 0 for 2. He is 0 for 5 on the series. Pitch to Petey. Right field. Van Slyke. 2 out. Cardinal starters have thrown every out of the series so far and allowed a whopping 8 hits. Here's Madlock. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Chopper over the mound. That's Ozzie. He has to hurry, and Madlock is. They got him! What a play by Ozzie Smith. And Dodger Stadium is bewildered. Goodness gracious, Buffy St. Marie, no runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 9th, it's 2-1 St. Louis. It'll be Porter, pitcher spot, and Coleman to face Niedenfuer in the 9th. Darrell is 0 for 2. He has walked and struck out. Base hit right field. Marshall picks it up. Brock should have made the play. So let's see what they do with Andujar. You'd think they'd pinch hit. They will. It's Steve Braun. So the Cardinals starting pitching 17 innings, 1 run, and 8 hits. I don't care who you are. If your pitching's that good, you're just not going to beat it. Braun, as a pinch hitter on the replay, 216, a homer, and 5 RBI. To second, Sachs, Duncan for 1, Brock for 2. So 2 out for Coleman. Vince is 0 for 4, 0 for 9 on the series, an RBI and a strikeout. He now has 2. Right to Niedenfuer, towards first, over to Brock, and it's bite your fingernail time. The Cardinals go down, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They don't leave anybody on. In the bottom of the 9th we go. It's the Cardinals 2, the Dodgers 1. And so Jeff Lottie, on the replay, converted 23 of 29 save attempts. Against the Dodgers, 6 appearances, 4 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, all earned, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Now, the Dodgers love him. They beat him twice. And he picked up a save. His last outing came on the 4th. A full week's rest, but the Cubs beat him 5-4. So Lottie, 45 1/3 innings, 52 hits, 18 runs, 15 earned, 4 homers. He has walked 19 while striking out 41. The Dodgers beat him, by the way, on June 19th. A solo home run to beat him 4-3. So it's Brock, Sachs, Socha, and a pinch hitter. 1 to tie, 2 to win. Brock is 1 for 3. Fly ball right field. Van Slyke 1 out. So here's Sachs 1 for 3. He has singled, stolen a base, and scored. 7 p.m. tomorrow, Game 3, California-Toronto. Game 3 of this series from St. Louis, Tuesday at noon. Base hit up the middle, and the tying run is on. Scioscia can homer, by the way. He is 2 for 3 on the day. He has singled, doubled, and driven in a run. Lottie, by the way, a heavy wind coming from the mountains. 24 mile an hour blowing in from left center. Pitch to Scioscia. Base hit up the middle. The Cardinals were playing deep. A no doubles defense. Sachs holds at second. And now here comes a pinch hitter. Dodger fans, what say you? I would probably go with Matuzik. And the irony there is that he came over and the trade that sent Al Oliver to the Blue Jays. He's the only lefty on the bench. Yeager would be the other thing, that no one really hits righties all that well. So unless Lenny's, who you go with? Matuzik as a pinch hitter for the Dodgers, not that great, but he does have a 2-run pinch hit homer. 222 since coming over. In real life, 3 homers and 13 RBI. There's 1 out. The tying run is Sachs on second. The winning run is Scioscia on first. It's 2-1 St. Louis in the bottom of the 9th of Game 2. The Dodgers trying to avoid going down 2-0 before going on the road. Lottie deals. Line drive to right and foul. The freeways are almost empty. Someone from San Bernardino made that catch. A ball and 2 strikes. 1 out. Advantage Lottie. Kicks and fires. Into right field. Van Slyke makes the catch. 2 out. Sachs tags and goes to third without a real throw. And so now the tying run is 90 feet away. But Mariano Duncan. So Tommy will spin the dice wheel again and go with Bill Russell. Because if they tie it, Russell can play short. 167 with 4 RBI as a pinch hitter on the replay. 260, no homers, and 13 RBI on the real season. He's not going to homer. But if he can extend the game, it's Landreau on deck. So Jeff Lottie takes a huge deep breath. Runners on the corners. 2 out. 2-1 Cardinals. Bottom of the 9th. Lottie's pitch. Base hit left field. We're tied up. Scioscia holds at second. Sachs scores the tying run. Lottie blows the save. And as he goes back to the dugout, 55,000 sing the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. Da-di-da. Da-di-da. So now, Lottie is still the pitcher of record. Bill Campbell is 37 years old, and what a situation to put himself in right now. Oh, if this is the highlight of your trip to Washington, I'm sorry. Campbell's 37, fastball at 88, a ground ball pitcher. Against the Dodgers, he's been pretty good. 5 appearances, 6 1/3, 3 hits, a walk, and a save. He can't lose the game. That's right now, anyway. That's Lottie's. The Dodgers, no, I don't want to put Yeager in. Remember, Scioscia's the second best hitter in the National League. I don't think I have anyone left I got to use. Campbell pitched on the fourth. 60 innings, 51 hits, 16 runs all earned, 3 homers. He walked 15 and struck out 34, and is 3-0 with 2 saves and a 2.40 ERA. Oh, John, I'm sorry. You go on vacation, the wife tests positive for COVID. Thing is, Scioscia's not a bad runner. You could go with Dave Anderson, but I want to keep him behind the plate. It is what it is. Oh. So first and second, Landreau is 1 for 4. He has doubled and grounded into a double play. You got the heart of the order coming up for the Dodgers, whether it's the 9th or the 10th, Marshall, Guerrero, and Madlock. Pitch to Landreau. There's a ground ball up the middle. Her will nail it to Smith, and we're going to have some free playoff baseball. So 1 run on 3 hits and no errors. After 9, it's 2-2. So Russell comes in at short. He's a 7. And now you got to determine who you're going to go with. Switchy lefty. It's Carlos Diaz who pitched in game 1. He went 1 inning and struck out a batter. Struck out a batter through 13 pitches, 27 years old, a fastball pitcher at 91, and a ground ball pitcher. So McGee, Her, and let's see if the Cardinals regret taking out Jack Clark. Willie is 0 for 2. He has walked twice and struck out. Ground ball to Sachs. 1 out. So the exodus to the highway stopped. Diaz might be able to throw 2. Tommy Her is 0 for 3 in game 2 with a walk. Ground ball to Russell. Throws to first. 2 out. So let's see what they do with Jorgensen, who was 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter in game 1 with a strikeout. Stays in the game into left field. Guerrero was there, and it's a 1-2-3 10th. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning here at Dodger Stadium. 2-2 the score. So Marshall, Guerrero, and Madlock. And now Bill Campbell, well, as soon as the 9th inning ended, became the pitcher of record, along with Carlos Diaz. And a reminder, because we've gone extra innings in a day game, that NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw will be seen immediately following the game on most of these NBC stations. So Marshall has walked twice and struck out once. He's 0 for 2 and is now 0 for 5 on the championship series. Campbell starts the 10th. Base hit up the middle. And the winning run is now on base. For Pedro Guerrero, who is 0 for 3. The Cardinals thought they had this one. Campbell, again, a deep breath. Guerrero strikes out. A 1-2 fastball got him to chase. 1 out. 2 runs, 5 hits, an error for St. Louis. They've left on 8. As Madlock steps up, he's 0 for 3 with a walk. 2 runs, 10 hits, an error for the Dodgers. They've left on 9. Base hit, left center field. Will that get down in the alley? Coleman cuts it off. Marshall will run to third. And it's now first and third and 1 out. And Madlock is going to go for second here. Greg Brock is 1 for 4. Porter, the throw to second. Madlock steals the base. So a ball 1 count. They're inviting Campbell to walk Brock to face Sachs, who is 2 for 4. So Marshall on third, Madlock on second. 1 out in the bottom of the 10th inning. Technically, with that comeback in the 9th inning, it was be the first time in postseason play since 1941 the Dodgers have come back in the bottom of the 9th to tie the ball game in a playoff game. In real life, it was Kirk Gibson that broke that run in Game 1 of the '88 series. So here we go. You got to think they're going to walk Brock. Pitch. Shallow right field. I don't think that's deep enough. Van Slyke running way in. Makes the catch. Marshall teases and does not go. So the Cardinals don't do the conventional wisdom and set up the force at any base. It is Sachs, who is 2 for 4, has singled twice, scored twice, and stolen a base. And Sosha on deck. I think we finally got ourselves all that in a bag of chips, gang, don't you? So Campbell, sucking that air in, delivers. Game over. Dodgers win. Sachs singles. Final score 3-2. And Marshall and Sachs and Madlock can go running to LAX. They've tied the series. Marshall is doused with Gatorade as he crosses home plate. The Dodgers score 1 in the 9th to tie it and 1 in the 10th to win it. So in the 7th, the Cardinals sent 8 to the plate, and they should have done more. Andujar an RBI single to tie it. Vince Coleman, the fielder's choice, to make it 2-1. Then in the bottom of the 9th inning, a Bill Russell pinch run single tied the game at 2. And then Steve Sachs scored Marshall to win the ball game 3-2. So Carlos Diaz gets the win. Bill Campbell, the tough luck loss. Joaquin Andujar says a lot of words you can't repeat from the clubhouse. And so Steve Sachs, 3 for 5, a stolen base, and Mike Sosha, 3 for 4 with a double. They're your co-MVP for this one. Oh, so thank you, Mr. Howard. So just, a bridge too far for all that traveling. So there you go. So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock for Game 3 of the Angels and the Blue Jays from California. Now, with this series all knotted up at 1 game apiece, we'll resume Tuesday at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific from St. Louis. Danny Cox for St. Louis. A floating bridge too far, yep. And so that'll do it. Andujar plus stuff So the Dodgers were pretty much right down to brass tacks and pull it out. Hey, I'm Ron Zuckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow evening at 7 Eastern for the Angels and the Jays. Have a good day, everybody.